what is the process of buying and flipping a house, right? So I think overall, you really, in the beginning, should be partnered up with somebody that has experience. It'll probably help streamline the process for you. However, when you're buying and flipping, it does involve several steps. Number one, it would be research and planning, right? Identify the target market, research the property, which means you always have to be looking, you always have to be searching, you're always out there looking for a deal to buy, right? So you always have to be researching, planning, running numbers, because you may see some properties you like, but the better you get at evaluating properties, the more likely you are to finally get one when that time comes. So number one is research and planning, identifying the right property. Number two, when the process of flipping a house, is financing. Secure the funding and the loans. So you want to talk to lenders, hard money lenders, or people that have cash that would be willing to finance you. Typical rate is about 12 to 13%. There may be points up front, and it's about 12% annualized interest rate, right? So that's what you really want to pay attention to. A lot of hard money ends up costing you just a little bit more. However, you know what you can do is you borrow that money, you pay it back, you can always refinance, or when you sell the property. So just make sure the profit is there to be able to pay for the acquisition and the hard money that you are going to borrow to do the project. That's what I would do. Now, next step would be the property acquisition. The property acquisition, purchase the property at a favorable price considering location and potential improvement. Listen, run the numbers all the time, run the numbers first. Make sure that whatever it is you're buying at a good price. When you buy something at a good price, you can always walk away by reselling it. You can always do a light cleanup and sell it, and then you can always do an extensive renovation and sell it. But if you buy it for such an expensive price where the numbers end up kind of tight and there's no room to increase the value substantially, well, then you're going to be left in a tough spot. So the way I think about buying and flipping those types of properties is you always want to give yourself a way out of the property, right? So you don't want to buy something that you're stuck in, because that's how you lose money. And if you ever seen somebody lose money, it's good until it's not good. Next step is renovating, right? So renovating, you're basically looking to invest in renovation to increase the property's value, prioritize upgrades and offers. Don't do everything, just do the best things. The hardest thing that I find people get into trouble with is when you hire the wrong contractors, or you hire contractors that aren't necessarily doing the best job and they're giving you a hard time. The numbers and the prices and all these things are just constantly going up, and you're way out of budget. So just make sure, either whether it's you managing the project or whoever you hire to manage the project, you hire somebody that is not only giving you great prices, but is also going to perform and do the necessary upgrades and the type of work that you're actually going to be able to then sell, right? Because if they don't do a good job and everything's looking horrible, that's going to be tough. Okay, next is marketing the property. I always say hire an agent, right? If you're the investor, let the agent do what the agent does. Agents usually a good agent can sell the property for you at a higher price, can market it very well, can negotiate it very well, and that's where you're actually going to win, right? So just make sure you list with a good company that's able to market and advertise your property. When we used to work for wholesalers in the past, and we used to work for investors that would buy properties, renovate them and sell them, they would always give them to us to sell them, because guess what? This is what we do. We sell properties. The investor invests and renovates. The hard money lends money, right? So the contractor does contracting and the salesperson sells the house. So just pay professionals well, make sure you hire the right professionals to sell your house so you eliminate problems. Next step would be the sale. Once you completed the sale, congratulations, you made a profit, right? So I've had plenty of situations where, we made profits anywhere from 20,000 to 200,000, and that's beautiful. However, sometimes it gets a little risky where you may overestimate the profit that you're going to make, and then your profit ends up being half of that or a quarter of that because unforeseen things came up. Whether the contracting cost you more, you can't sell the building because something came up, or all kinds of things can come up in real estate in this business. So just make sure that you take your time, and when you go to sell the house and you calculated the numbers, and if everything worked right, you should be able to clear a profit. Most of the time, in most cases, people get a profit anywhere from 50,000 to 150,000. When you go higher end in luxury properties, you could get profits of 300,000 to 600,000, and I'm sure for a big enough property, you could get profits of $1 million+. Depends on what kind of properties you flip. So I think that it's a great model and a great business to get into. I've seen a lot of people make money. I've seen a lot of people lose money. So just be careful and just pay attention to what you're doing, and good luck.